There's this misconception that becoming a big bodybuilder means massive calorie intakes. So here's what I have to say about it. I won't deny that at some point I had this motive, this exact similar motive. I was caught up in the loop of this misconception, and so at that point I literally eat anything, anytime, anywhere, anything that I put my hands on, I eat it, regardless the class of food it was, whether it was carbohydrates, whether it was protein, whether it was fat, I eat it all. And so one thing I noticed is that as time grew by, I kept on increasing the rate of my workouts, and I kept on seeing less results. Reason being, the high consumption of whatever it is. Majorly, I majorly consume fats because that's what's most fun to eat. And so with time, the more you consume fats, what happens is that you lose muscle definition, and so your abs will begin to look a bit shabby, and your biceps will begin to look smaller than they actually are. Your forearms will begin to look less defined. And so this is what I came to face with at that period because of my high consumption of fats and classes of food that weren't exactly healthy. I wouldn't say that I noticed any internal malfunctions or whatever due to my high consumption of fats. I don't think I actually ever took that much, but if I had continued, I might have eventually faced some organ dysfunctions and stuff like that. But luckily I didn't. So I made research. I came to find out that the class of food that is most important for bodybuilding is protein, and followed by carbohydrates. Reason being, protein is the major reason why it's the major nutrient that builds up and repairs damaged muscle fibers. And so when you work out, what happens is that your muscle, as it contracts and extends, there are tears in between. And so those tears, what protein does is that it helps release a hormone. I've forgotten the exact name of this hormone, but the whole point of the whole process is that it would repair those damaged muscles and support muscle growth. And so that's why protein on its own is an inevitable factor of muscle growth and bodybuilding. And then followed by carbohydrates. Reason being, since the dawn of time, since you were born, you are most likely to have been consuming carbohydrates. And so your brain has already registered that your major source of energy is carbohydrates, rice, glucose, lactose, starch, everything. The main source of energy that your brain defines and recognizes as energy is carbohydrates. And so if you consumed only protein and you didn't consume carbohydrate, I mean, you'll be feeling like, let's you just up your protein intake and completely disregard the other two. But that's not exactly the wisest option, because I myself thought about that. Because carbohydrate is what exactly gives you the energy to do the workout. Protein only helps support muscle growth and repair damaged muscle fibers, and so it wouldn't exactly be the wisest decision. And so, considering since fat makes you lose muscle definition and also makes you liable to certain kind of diseases, it's human to assume that fats are completely useless and are not to be in any way taken. And I also thought that at first, but for some reason research has shown me that fats are actually useful to an extent, and what they are useful for, I can't quite put my finger on it anymore. But yeah, fats are actually useful to an extent, but not any kind of fats. You should stick to mainly healthy fats, and you shouldn't stick to any ration. A normal meal plan for the average bodybuilder, based on my experience and what research has shown me, is that at least 60% protein, 35% carbohydrates, and like 50% fat. The fats are still necessary, but you just reduce the amount of fat intake as much as you can. You can alter this percentage scale to whatever fits you, whether it's 50%, whether it's 40% protein, 40% carbs, 20% fats, however it is that you might be alright with. Whatever works for you, that's fine. Whatever works for you, that's fine. Whatever works for you, that's fine. The goal is to become as good looking as possible and to achieve that master looking physique, that Socrates type physique. And so that's what I have to say for you guys today, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.